I feel so helpless, waiting here while Cyrodiilic Collection searches through the kitchen midden of history on my behalf. But you don't want to hear my complaints. I'm sure you came to see me for some important purpose. What can I do for you? So you're the lucky adventurer Varro selected for my little quest. I approve. I certainly do. I've long suspected that Sophir Cavern was tied to the Imperial occupation of the First Era, but until recently, the place was sealed up tight as a drum. Tremors shook the region, clearing away rocks that once blocked the entrance to the cavern. When I noticed the path was open, I petitioned Famia to get her associates to conduct some research on my behalf. I have a burning passion for history. If my assumptions are correct, then Imperials of the First Era sheltered in the cavern in the distant past. I suspect that scrolls can... I feel so helpless, waiting here.
Watch your step, Ojel. As this place returns to the swamp, it becomes...
Don't mind me. I haven't got any attachments to this place. If you find anything of value, just keep it. Oh, I'm not local. I hope... Don't mind me.
No, we only cover the ball with mud when points are scored too quickly.
The game is lost if the ball passes through the highest hoop. Unless the moons are both more than halfway full.
I just don't get it. What kind of game has this many rules? How do you remember them all? I can't do it. Just can't wrap my head around how this silly game is played. It's this hip and ball game. I've tried to understand it, but there's just too many rules for me to follow. I don't want to play without even knowing the basics. Say, you seem like a reasonable sort. Perhaps you know a little something about this sport. Just the most important rules, plainly spoken.
I could waste seasons with this Kuda, and still he would never learn the ways of Tibahat. Dryskins call it hip and tail ball. 2 teams of 5 pass a ball with only their hips, elbows, or tails. When the ball hits the opposing, one hoop is 30 hands high, the other 50. Hit the ball into the lower hoop, and your team is well, the basics of the game are, yes, but without knowing if you are so willing.
I could be spending this time.
I can't do it. It's this hip. I don't want to play without even knowing the basics. Say, you seem like a reasonable sort. Perhaps you know a little something about this sport. Just the most important rules, plainly... Aha! All right. I think I... All right. So, hitting the wall earns you 1 point. The lower hoop earns you 3 points, and the upper hoop ends the game. Isn't that right?
Finally, he gets it. Very well, then. We will explain the other rules as we play. Perhaps that will be easier.
How wondrous. Now we are stuck with this Kuda for who knows how long.
If only you would arrive every time a Dryskin wishes to play our game.
I finally get it! All I needed was...
You sniveling snake. That's my coin purse, and you know it.
Your coin purse? It is I who found it, and so it is now my coin purse.
This bag of scales picks my coin purse off the ground, and suddenly it's his? I've never heard of such a ridiculous thing. Bah, just my luck I run afoul of a root house lizard. The whole tribe is filled with nothing but thieves. I can't believe they even get away with it. The other villagers should have put a stop to them long ago. And now here I am, an innocent traveler getting robbed blind. Exactly. Do you know how many relics I had to sell to earn that gold? How many Zonmirs I had to scour? How many traps I had to dodge? By all rights, that coin purse is mine. Yes, and? I assure you, the Argonians don't care about those relics in the least. Gold, on the other hand, they seem to have all the interest in the world. So much so that they would steal it from the hands of innocent folks.
You have something to say, Ojel? To steal implies that the purse is not mine. To the root house people, that which is needed is provided by our hiss through the actions of others. I needed the gold at the dry skin. I've seen this Kuda in Lilmoth. His purse only grew heavy with coin by selling the relics of Merkmaier. He took from the land of my people. Why should I not take from him? The Hist has provided. You make a good point. Fine. I will return the coin purse. There is no need for further threats. I have nothing more to...
Finally. Took you long enough.
I have nothing more to say to you. Be gone.
I can't believe you got him to agree.
My eyes widen in surprise. Why do you come to Black? I attempt to work up the courage to hobble back to the Deadwater village. To my great dishonor, I was captured alive by the blackguards. They planned to ransom me, but my tribe refused. My leg shattered. I waited for a swift death, an honorable warrior's end. Instead,
You with the blackguards? I already told you, fetchers, that I'm not interested in joining your little band of merry murderers. I'm just camping up here for... Oh, all right then. I'm just a little bit tense is all. So far, all the blackguards have done is make vague threats, but I know their reputation. They're as rotten as... Blackrose Prison? Don't know much, I'm afraid. Used to be owned by the Imperials. Named after an old city nearby, I believe, though I'm sure that's in ruins too. As you can tell, it's no longer operational. Now it just houses the blackguards. Because the blackguard founders were former Naga inmates. This was decades ago, of course. I'm sure all the original members have died off by now. Drakey the Unchained leads them now. He accepts everyone. The original blackguards would only accept Argonians into their ranks. But when Drakey took over, that all changed. Now they accept anyone. No.
eco-friend, over here. Will you speak with me? Dryskin. Didn't I see you talking with the explorers from Cyrodiilic Collections? Are you one of them? Would you be willing to? I have suffered shame for the actions of my ancestor. When the Imperial Ninth Legion marched into Merkmair, my distant relative agreed to serve as their scout. And ever since my egg family has carried the mark of traitors. I want to... After my egg relative joined them, the Legion vanished. At long last, I believe I know where they disappeared to. Sophia Cavern. However, my egg siblings only care about the here and now. But I always believed that history was the key to exonerating our disgraced ancestor. I know we'll find something in the cavern. I just know it. As long as there have always been dark legends surrounding the Sophia Caverns, stories about a monster called the Wujuka. It is some sort of powerful voroplasm, evidence that the Ninth Legion visited the cavern before it disappeared. Maybe even signs that the Imperials entered Sophia and never emerged. If we could locate the Sophia Caverns, were sealed by a rock slide in the distant past. Recent tremors, however, have opened a path into the caves. I also learned that Gin Rajul was a renowned scout, well respected before the Imperials convinced him to help them. I'm certain they must have forced him, threatened him in some way. No spawn. Many seasons ago, when the Imperials first sent troops to our beloved swamps, the Ninth Legion terrorized the region. It marched from one end of Merkmair to the other, inflicting death and destruction along the way. Then I've gathered every song and story I could find that even mentioned the Lost Legion. After many seasons of travel and study, an obscure line in a ballad sung by an elder of the Girusliel tribe led me to Sophia. My burden lightens with every step. My egg siblings only care about the... My egg siblings only care about the here and now. There have always been dark legends, evidence that the Sophia Cavern, Gin Rajul, many seasons ago, when the Imperials first sent troops to our beloved, I've gathered. proves it. My ancestor and the Ninth Legion did visit this cave. Let's keep looking around. Let me take a closer look. Yin Rajul, that's my ancestor. And look, it mentions the Ninth Legion by name. This proves they visited this cave. We need to keep looking. There must be more clues as to what happened in here. Let me take... The Ninth Legion and my ancestor explored these caves. Let me see that. This is a Ninth Legion officer's journal. It mentions my ancestor, Yin Rajul, and how the Legionnaires started disappearing. It had to be the Wujuka. It must have devoured the Imperials. Another note. What happened to the Legion becomes clearer and clearer. Another note. It talks about the altar where the elders prepared the ritual to bind the Wujuka. I think my ancestor led the Imperials into this cavern and fed them to the Wujuka. He saved our tribe, but made the Voraplasm more powerful. Another note. It... How beautiful. And to think no one has seen this place in more than 100 seasons. That's a ritual dagger. Probably the one used by the elders to perform the binding ritual. Now we need to find the altar. As long as the cavern was sealed, the Wujuka was trapped. It couldn't spread across Merkmair. But now that the caves are open, I tried to learn as much as I could when I came across the stories of the Wujuka. I'm no expert, but... As long as the cavern was sealed, the Wujuka was trapped. As long as the cavern... That's the altar the elders used to prepare the rite of binding. I think I can duplicate the ritual, but I need you to do something first. From what we learned, my ancestor only pretended to help the Legion. He led them here to save Merkmair. When the Legionnaires sealed the cave, they interrupted the cycle. No one has come to bind the Wujuka in centuries. I guess I will prepare the dagger and the sacred altar, according to the stories the elders told me. In the meantime, I need you to... The Wujuka is a massive pool of voroplasm that interacts with the world through extensions of itself. According to the stories, the Wujuka creates an extension of itself to guard the pool. Find this large voroplasm guardian and destroy it. That should weaken the Wujuka and make it... The Wujuka isn't like other voroplasms. It has an intelligence and a hunger different from the simple creatures seen in the swamp. Find the Wujuka. Majai Wija Vikakai. Quickly now, ignite the brazier. The rite of binding is complete. Meet me outside and we can talk. The journal and letters we found prove that the Lost Legion met its doom in Sophia Cavern. They also reveal that my ancestor led them there in order to protect Merkmaier. And more importantly, for seasons and seasons, my friend. And I shall inform the elders of the nearest tribes. They will once again take up the responsibility. I do. He knew the tribes weren't strong enough to oppose the Ninth Legion. So he sacrificed his own life to lead them to the Wujuka. I feel very proud to be part of his egg family, my friend. Not only will this evidence restore the honor of my egg family, our actions have helped save all of Merkmaier. And I couldn't have done any of this without you. Please, accept this small gift. I can prove that the law... Not only will... I can't wait to tell my egg siblings all about our ancestor. They're going to be so proud. The binding will hold for a while. In the meantime, I'll talk to the elders of the nearby tribes and make sure they restore the traditions of the past. As long as the elders periodically perform the rite of binding. Oh, most assuredly. I might even talk to Cyrodiilic collections, since my people have little use for his... I can't wait to tell my egg...
It's simply a cultural difference. Such imagery must be presented in a particular way.
I grind my teeth in vexation. His bones crack beneath the might of his enemy's heavy club. These words cannot be rewritten. My tail whips from side to side, and yet you wish to speak? Speak then. This bard asked to sing the tales of my people. Though my eyes narrowed, I allowed such a thing. But now she has changed the words. The words must be the steady beat of a hunting drum, not flowers to be enjoyed. She says our tales are too plainly spoken, and so the bard turns blood to rubies. How can she speak my people's stories when her own tongue is tough? Ah, like the hackwing, which must be chewed slowly. Yes, the situation is...
Hail, O traveler. What is it? For long I have searched the swamps for the tales of Merkmair's past. Unfortunately, such a topic is of little interest to most of the Argonians living here. But at last, my search came to a joyful close. Or so I thought. Eril Jush is one of the few traditional storytellers left in Merkmair. However, I have found his stories to be far too plain. I have sung the ballads of warriors and battles, of carnage and death and mayhem. It is not the subjects Eril Jush speaks, but the crude way he speaks them. Yet he refuses to let me change the words to be more refined. I suppose that is true. If I'm to respect the traditions of Merkmair, I must respect its people. Upon reflection, I have decided to keep your stories as they have been told to me. If I am to spread Argonian tales, it is best to sing the words in an Argonian manner.
You have stopped her honeyed tongue and opened her eyes to the truth of our words.
Perhaps these crude words...
I wonder what the Dominion thought when they saw you burn their ship.
My insides clench at the sight of you, outsider. You mistake a show of strength for hostility. While others of the marsh have lost their way, the Nagakur, who you call Dead Water, hold fast to ancient traditions and customs. What you call inhospitable, we consider prudent. The marsh is brutal and dark. The strong eat the weak here.
I've little time for talk.
at this lot. Moa just tries, but how do you turn slugs into Wamasu? Poor stances. Barely any coordination, no upper body strength. The swamp will eat them alive. It must be the eggs. Our hatchlings just aren't as strong as they once were.
My spines vibrate with building rage. The outsider that interrupts a warrior's training often finds a spear in their side. Be gone, Ojel scum!
You know I can see you, right? with traditions.
Kishi chose to save us. Outsiders will only make things worse.
Come, Dapasa. Beal has made her decision.
You enter the land of the Deadwater tribe, Ojel. The elders will not welcome you. Best if you not get involved.
Never been this close to a dry skin. You look weak and fragile. How do you survive when the plants in your land try to...
I spit that tradition and the cowardice it breeds. The Deadwater tribe is proud, set in its ways. But those ways will be the end of us. Even a stupid outsider can see such things. I mean no offense. We almost died during our trial of ascension. We would have too, except Kishi interfered and saved us. Now, by the laws of the Nagakor, the Deadwater tribe, Kishi has been sentenced to death. He should not have helped us, but I'm glad he did. The elders stand by our traditions, even as the tribe sinks into quicksand. They refuse to reach out for any aid that isn't prescribed by the Tree Minder or the Kadilith. Perhaps you could help Kishi. As an outsider, you aren't bound by our laws. Find Kishi's father, Boki. Tell him you want to help. He will know how to best utilize an outsider in this matter. Be mindful of Mewa Jez, though. She seized Kishi because he interfered. Oh, my spines quiver just imagining her reaction to an outsider. Mewa Jez is our tribe's Kadilith, our war teacher. She trains our novices to walk the path of the Lily. Since she took over the responsibility, the Deadwater warriors have become strong. The path of the Lily claims more lives than ever before. Kishi and his egg siblings were the last novices to complete the trial without injury, let alone death. More often now, entire clutches of novices fall to the dangers encountered on the path. Everything changes. The path, the Kadilith, training changes too, and expectations. Now novices die more quickly than new eggs can be hatched. Soon, the Deadwater tribe will simply be the Dead tribe. I think that's why Kishi dislikes Mewajez. I speculate now. Perhaps Kishi didn't want to see more novices perish due to lack of training. Or maybe his dislike of Mewajez got the better of him. Or it could have been temporary insanity. Regardless, he saved us. And the path of the Lily is sacred to our people. Hatchlings ascend to the rank of warrior by walking the path, ready to defend the tribe and survive the terrors of the swamp. Failure means death and a return to the Hist. Kishi interrupted that fate. I attempt to speak plainly. As Mewajez teaches, the swamp doesn't provide second chances, so why should we? If warriors can't succeed on their own, they endanger us all. Still, Boki's home stands just within the village walls, on the western side of the Hist. Please, hurry, for Mewajez took Kishi away before the night had turned to day. If Kishi hasn't been consumed by a swamp beast yet, it won't be long now. Find Kishi's father, Bo.
You enter the land.
smell something unpleasant, Casca.
Keeping myself busy here.
Find a different patch of shade, Ogel. I state the obvious. You are Ogel, not of our tribe. Coming here makes you either very brave or very foolish, but it has nothing to do with me. I display my fangs in warning. Now, Kishi is always in trouble, but never has the mud risen so high. He disobeyed tradition, tribal laws, and my direct orders when he decided to interfere in the rites of ascension. Now, I grind my fangs in frustration. I tried to talk to the Rajkal, the war chief, but he doesn't want to hear the truth. The Deadwater only care about strength and death, and they plan to follow that path to the bitter end. This book should have been destroyed ages ago. Kishi hid it here. He wants me to remember who I was, but I am no longer the Kardilith. The tribe, you would risk life and limb for a stranger. Kishi believes that outsiders aren't intrinsically bad. So, I accept his opinion, and thank you for your help. Kishi was I exposed the spine of regret. Once the Deadwater tribe was as numerous as the fish in the streams. Now, we send our dwindling number of hatchlings to die upon the path of the lily. It curls my scales. The ruins serve as a perfect killing field, which is what will happen to Kishi if you continue to stand here and ask me questions. If you really... There is no place in the village for someone sentenced to die. Kishi must flee and go far away, or our warriors will be forced to kill him. As for me, I served as the tribe's war teacher before I was replaced. That old book contains my training methods, techniques that worked well until they didn't. When Mewajez changed everything, novices started to die. But tell me, why do you care? The Ogel sees the truth, even through the fog of our traditions. The laws of the Deadwater refuse to bend. But in a powerful wind, the tall, straight tree either weathers the storm or breaks apart. Perhaps with your help, the tribe can learn to bend. Now you break your teeth upon my scales. Help me get loose from these bonds. I proclaim my gratitude. Let's go over there so we can talk. The season turns strange. First, I break the laws of the tribe to save lives. Now an outsider appears out of nowhere to rescue me from certain death. You have my thanks and my respect. Unless you seek a reward, then I respect you less. My egg, sire. How unexpected.
When last we talked, he urged me not to oppose the Kadilith, but I refuse to let the dead water become nothing but a memory. Unlike Boki, Mewajez, the war teacher, instructs our novices, trains them to walk the path of the lily. Her methods, instead of making us strong, they lead to nothing but death. Boki was our war teacher until one mistake led to his disgrace. Now Mewajez trains the novices. In 6 seasons, she has lost every clutch that walked the path, blaming them for being too. Tell Boki that you saved me. Tell him that I will find a way to save our tribe.
Say your words, Mewajez, and then leave me to my grief.
Kishi rejected our laws because of your obsolete ideas, Boki. Let this end with your egg son's death. Grieve as you will, but do not think to oppose me, old one. That is a battle you cannot win.
The outsider returns, just in time to see the disgrace that clings to me like the mist that rises from the swamp. I thank the Hist that Kishi lives. But he risks everything to swim against the currents of our traditions. I must find the same courage as my eggs, the Nagakur, who you call the Dead Water. We are warriors. Death is a part of who we are. In the past, our hatchlings grew to be novices who walked the path and became warriors. One war teacher was replaced by another. Techniques were altered. Different virtues were emphasized. Under Mewajez's tutelage, find Kishi. He plans to show our war chief that there is a better way to train the novices. In the back room, take the Firestones. Use them to find my egg son's hidden camp in the swamp. Then help him carry out his plan. I patiently attempt to explain. Go into the swamp and look for the tamed vine tongues. These plants appear different from the more hostile varieties. Toss firestones at the plants, and they will lead you to Kishi's hidden camp. Mewajez insists that her training is not at fault. The novices are too weak, and that is why they fail. The war teacher proclaims that every challenge can be overcome because strength is only one weapon in the warrior's arsenal. To ignore the others is to court doom, as our novices find out again and again. If not for Kishi's interference, the latest group would have died as well, and for this, he is dishonored. The Deadwater tribe learns to fight. We have very little experience questioning orders or ignoring tradition. That is Kishi's greatest strength, and most apparent weakness. He questions everything. Help my egg son, and you, Rajkal Silan, accepts death as a constant companion. It is almost a member of our tribe. The war chief sees the Hajj Mota flying toward the waterfall, but considers its fate to be part of the natural order. The war chief believes that Mewajez's methods will produce stronger, more powerful warriors. Eventually. In the meantime, he cannot resist the pull of tradition any more than the... Find Kishi. I sigh at the inevitable. Find Kishi while I send Mewajez on a wild war chase.
The war chief sentenced Kishi to death, Boki. Your egg son doesn't even have the good sense to die with honor.
I bare my fangs at this insult.
Rage all you want. When Kishi comes for you, we'll slap him in chains. Be gone, Ogel scum! The business of the Nagakur is no concern. His favorite egg son escaped the rightful punishment bestowed upon him by the war chief. Whether Boki aided in his escape or not, this entire situation reeks of the old Naga's influence. Now we will use him to lure Kishi back here. I recoil at your ignorance, outsider. You know nothing of our traditions, of our sacred rites. You are barely better than the insects that flitter around the waste pits. Do not get involved, or you will suffer the same fate that awaits Kishi.
Do not linger like the sickly guar that waits for the crocodile to eat it. Hurry and do...
Didn't I say so, Kishi? There's something special about this outsider. I raise the spine of gratitude. Boki's firestones. I suppose he told you how to find my camp. I stare in wonder. Though I appreciate the aid you provided, I must ask, Mewajez is a pox upon our tribe. I need to find a way to convince the war chief that Boki's training techniques are not only sound, but represent the best way to save them. Help me show the war chief that the old ways truly are the best. Specifically, the methods Boki once used to train our novices. I'm proof that Boki and a daring plan it is. I will mentor you, use Boki's techniques to guide you through the path of the lily. When an outsider succeeds where dead water novices failed, it will prove that Mewajez is... We must return to my village and go to the war chief's pavilion. Only Rajkal Silan can grant an outsider permission to walk the path of the lily. Just
Choose your words carefully. The war chief's ego bruises easily, and my exile resigned his position after the unfortunate events surrounding the rite of passage some 7 seasons ago. One of Boki's students, a young Naga named Chukala ignored Boki's lessons and charged onto the path of the lily like a Wamasu in the hatchery. He boasted that warriors needed only their strength to win the day, not clever tricks and careful observation. Unfortunately, they succeeded. No, but Chukala challenged Boki, said he was weak and unfit to teach warriors. They fought, and the commotion attracted the predators that prowled the path. Chukala and the novices were killed. Boki was injured. He resigned in shame after that. She demanded the war chief give her the position. You see, Chukala was her egg brother. She wanted to honor his memory by teaching novices the things Chukala believed. Those instructions killed many novices before. Rajkal Silan is as wise as he is cautious. He sees the problem even if tradition and decorum tie his hands and keep him from acting. If we can... No, it doesn't. He may even order his warriors to strike us down for simply suggesting the idea.
I widen my eye slits in wonder. You contradict everything the tribe taught me about.
We must return to my village and go to the war.
The outsider dares approach this sacred pavilion.
Lower your spines, Kadilith. It is the rare outsider that dares approach the Nagakor.
I mentor the outsider. We ask to walk the path of the lily.
Blasphemy! Kill them all!
Hold! I will hear what Kishi and the outsider have to say.
Choose your words carefully, Ojel. Listen to Kishi and do
You dare too much! Oh.
Boki says the Nagakor are doomed. Kishi claims our war teacher is to blame. What do you say, outsider? Why have you come to the village of the Deadwater? shake my head in disbelief. Why is it that everything connected to Boki and his egg son reeks of broken laws and forsaken traditions? Do you truly believe you can succeed where the best of our young warriors have failed? It will prove something. On that we agree. Very well. Walk the path. Kishi will accompany you as your mentor. Return with the sacred lily, and I will listen to Kishi's plea. If you fail and die, Boki will be executed, and our traditions will stand. Mewajez, prepare the path. The outsider will undergo the same rite as our novices.
War Chief, no! You cannot allow Kishi to disrespect our cherished customs.
Do as I command, War Teacher. I want to see how the Ogel fares.
This will work, Boki. You'll see.
The old ways killed my egg brother, and they will kill you as well, Ogel.
The path of the lily requires both brains and brawn.
Are you ready, friend outside?
I confide a secret truth. The only reason I break tradition and allow you to walk the path is because...
You're the hero who defeated Sadal at Tormented Spire. My respect.
This is about saving our people, Mewajez.
Through weakness and trickery, you dishonor our tribe and my egg brother's memory. No matter. If my novices cannot succeed, your outsider has no chance. No chance at all. Talk to your mentor, Ogel scum. The sooner...
Mewajez's novices fail because they attempt to use brute force to complete the rite of passage. Listen to me. The first part of the path involves the trial of movement. You must find a way to get past one of the largest. Boki accompanied his novices, so I will accompany you. I cannot interfere in your trials, only offer advice. But you can use me as a tool, directing me to provide minor aid at times. For example, with the ultimate goal of reaching the signal totem and igniting it to show that you have completed the first challenge. Take this arrow and...
Talk to your...
Point the arrow I gave you, and I'll take care of the rest. So good. Now let me tell you about the next section of the path. You picked the proper path through the quicksand. Well done. Dangerous plants and carnivorous beasts fill the next section of the path. They will do their best to end your trial with every... Remember that I am a weapon in your arsenal. Use the arrow I gave you to direct me against the dangerous plants as you see fit. There will be 2 signal totems to ignite along this. No, Mewajes considers Boki's techniques to be obsolete. A war teacher who helps her novices only enables their weaknesses. She prefers to instruct from a distance. exceptionally well, friend outsider. I think we may actually succeed and reach the sacred lily. Overconfidence can fell even the mightiest warrior, though. DeRosa guards the sacred lily. He is powerful and hard to kill, but he isn't invincible. Here, take this sack of firestones. Use them and your wits, and I'm sure you'll survive. You can do this. I have faith. DeRosa is an Argonian behemoth, created by our Hist to protect the sacred lily and test the mettle of our novice warriors. Know that the creature has tasted the blood of many. The final challenge will be... I knew Boki's methods would work. I just knew it. But let's stay focused. Take the sacred lily. Signal totem. Let's return to the village and present the sacred lily to the war chief. You did well, friend outsider. You are the first outsider to walk the path of the lily. Moreover, you are the first novice to...
The outsider, Kishi. Did the quicksand swallow them?
The outsider approaches now, bearing the sacred lily. You haven't seen one in a while, have you, Mewajes?
Step forward, outsider.
That is not possible!
My friend outsider will explain. I'm going to take Boki home now.
It makes no sense. No outsider should have been able to walk the path, let alone complete it using Boki's...
The sacred lily. It represents the hopes and dreams of the Nagakor, the Deadwater. It has been too many seasons since the last one was presented to me. I do not trust outsiders, but I respect strength. Kishi taught you well. And you have succeeded where so many of our novices have recently failed. I raise my spines. I should never have accepted Boki's resignation. That was a mistake that has cost the Nagakor dearly. Kishi shall be our war teacher. If he could train an outsider to walk... Mewajez trained the novices just as I asked her to. Any failure on her part is also a failure on mine. I shall ask her to assist Kishi, and Kishi must start training the next season of novices immediately. It has been too long since strong, young warriors emerged from the path of the Lily to take their place in the Deadwater tribe. I hesitate to contemplate that question. Boki warned me that the loss of so many novices would spell the end of the Naga Corps. You showed us a better way. If Kishi succeeds, and the next season of Clutchmates survive, that will be enough for now. Kishi must start training the next season of novices immediately. It has been too long.
I need to consider what happened here, Rajkal.
What is it?
The hatching pools recovered due to your efforts. You are truly a friend to the Hist.
Methods were as successful as ever, Exire. The outsider claimed the sacred lily.
I hear your words, Kishi, and my spine swell with pride. How did it feel to claim the sacred lily, Ojel? Did your scales quiver and your spines tingle in awe and wonder?
Few Naga live to be as old as Boki. Most of our warriors die early, but not my Exire. He has used his wits and strength to overcome every challenge. His lessons helped me. I am honored and thankful that my plan worked. Now, I need to rebuild confidence in the young ones. Get the next season of hatchlings ready to walk the path. The Deadwater will always face adversity. I want to give them the tools to survive. The war chief is wise. 2 Kadiliths can impart more wisdom than 1, provided Mewajez cooperates and agrees to work with me. Otherwise, we will clash like Boki and Chukala did. We can only wait and see. Thank you, friend outsider. For an Ojel, you made an excellent Nagakur warrior. The novices I saved. Thank you, friend outsider. For an Ojel, you make... I will not apologize for my actions, Mewages.
I seek none. You have done what I could not. Your novice survived and walked the path.
What are you saying, Mewages?
I am saying that you have my support. Teach, and I will learn.
Then together, we will make the dead water even stronger than before.
I did not think I would live to see my name no longer.
Outsiders, they still make my scales crawl. But you walked the path of the lily. You have
I owe you a debt, friend outsider. Know that you will always find...